Okay, welcome. Today is February 10th, 2022, the regular town board meeting of the town of Brunswick. And if you would, please rise.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this point, we'll open the meeting. If we have any visitors who wish to speak. As many of you know, we have public access at the end of the meeting also. If something comes up. Good afternoon, I guess, night.
Oh, yeah. Christy Fraunhofer, 72 Oneida Ave. I was here at the November meeting and have sent a few emails in regarding the situation on the Oneida, Genesee, Otsego neighborhood situation with our traffic problem. And we're seeing a lot of tractor trailers, like big, enormous tractor trailers, and they're not coming in through Hoosick. They're coming down Lake and shooting down either Norfolk or Genesee to avoid the Hoosick Street traffic. So I know when I was here in November, you said you were talking about it and hopefully there was some resolution. And I know that I had also mentioned before possibly shutting off the access between Duncan Lane at Norfolk and the end of Otsego. And I remember there was some discussion that would be some real extenuating circumstances. I was hoping that maybe putting a Hannaford in where a cornfield used to be and cows, and there's a couple houses there, the setback, maybe one house is 6 inches right on the corner there. It's already a traffic hazard. It's kind of a blind spot. This is at Duncan, Otsego, and Norfolk. And there's always constantly a near head-on collision there. So spring's coming and the kids want to get out and we want to walk dogs and ride bikes and use the neighborhood. So we were hoping that there was something in the works to help us because we don't want the tractor trailers coming through. We already have the Duncan trucks.
I wonder where the trailer trucks are going. I
You know
figured
whose trucks they are?
Yes, it was, there's a hood truck and that was the one I think I emailed you.
the hood is going to Stickaway Creamery.
And that was a massive truck. That wasn't a little box truck.
Yeah.
We get the Duncan trucks all the time still. They're just coming through. And then there was one that was unmarked and there was like another gray one, but they're going and I happened to be walking at the time. So I'm trying, where are they going? And they're cutting down Duncan. So we just don't want to be the cut through anymore. Like everyone knows Hoosick Street is the nightmare. And we're becoming the spill off. We don't want to be the remedy to the Hoosick Street problem, especially when the weather is getting nicer and we want to use our neighborhood. So
I can visit with Mark again at Stickaway Creamery and see what's going on.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe the trailer trucks cutting through there for shortcuts. It's hard,
Yeah.
not easy for them to drive through there either, you know?
It can't be. And that's what we were saying. The roads are narrow and, people are parking off to the side. So it makes
What
the
I'm
roads-
saying, it must be going somewhere, so.
Right. And then, but we just don't want to become also when Hannaford gets there, we're already the cut through as it is. But we know that when Hannaford goes in, it's going to just make the problem a million times worse. So we're looking for something permanent. I know we talked about one-way streets, making some of the streets one-way since they're narrow enough. Was there any progress on those talks?
The planning board looked into all that stuff. I'm not sure, Tom.
I don't remember where.
I got to look and see
We did talk when Hannaford first was announced. We did look at that issue because there was talk of like closing a road or something.
Yeah.
And I mean, I haven't looked at it. Like, if I knew you were going to bring it up, I would have looked at that. But it's like there's like the law says you have to meet one of these 4 situations and none of them apply. So
None of them apply to closing off the road there.
again, this was, how long ago was it that Hannaford? This was months and months and months.
Okay.
ago. But we did, that's one of the first things we looked at because there was talk right at the beginning, remember, of
closing a road.
closing a road.
Right.
I'm wondering if it's the same one that you're talking about.
Yeah, the neighborhood would really appreciate it because we're just tired of, it's fine. It's a road. They're roads. It's neighborhood. Cars cut through. But there are people who do not live in our neighborhood that are flying through. They're not stopping at the stop sign. They're throwing trash at neighbors who are trying to get out of their way. It's becoming ridiculous. And, you know, it's been okay the winter because we're not out there, but this spring's coming, Hannaford's
Yeah.
coming, and we really would love a permanent situation. And thinking of that house that's right there on the corner, that's got to be the exception. The poor house, it's like literally, when I'm not exaggerating, there's got to be a 6-inch setback. And, you know, will we come around, the neighbors yell incoming if there's a car, which is nice, but
The four-way stops help, right? On North
oh
Lake.
God, that has made a world of difference. That has been a blessing.
I came
Yeah.
over there last night, so.
Fantastic. And actually today I was walking and I saw a state trooper sitting there. I was like, thank
I-
you.
I went by a week ago and there's a sheriff parked down the Freer Park
That's
area.
fabulous. Yeah, and that has made an absolute world of difference. But we're also
Yeah.
noticing that when the traffic is getting worse, it's not that the trucks are just coming in through Hoosick just to get off of Hoosick. Now they're coming down Lake and traversing the entire neighborhood.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
look at that. One other quick question.
Sure.
Is there someone we should send house pictures to? We're getting cracks in the walls and ceilings from the blasting. Is there someone who might be a head person on that?
Chuck Golden. He'll be, probably got that with his report there. Chuck, want to
Okay.
give her?
Okay.
There, grab a card from him.
We need that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Nice to see you. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks. Anybody else at this point? Hello, young lady.
Jennifer Mann, 91 Hill Road. I'm actually making a statement for somebody else. Lewis Hutter is at the school board meeting tonight, and he wanted me to speak to you guys. He said the town and the school district generally have their meetings all on Thursday nights so that you have to choose which one to go to. And he would like to request that you guys find a way so that people can go to both. He spoke to the school board last time and they were amenable to that, just with changing the time. So he wanted me to say that.
Okay. We've done a resolution and we've had this time for a long time, so we've got all our meetings scheduled. What time do they start, you know, Jen? The school board? At 7?
Like maybe just like basic.
Yeah. It's hard for us to change because we have public hearings before. And if we have a public hearing, that's normally like 6 o'clock. And then when we tried to have it at 5 o'clock, everybody said, oh, we're still working. You guys are trying to hide stuff. So it's hard for us to shift our times, you know? Okay, anybody else at this point? We'll move into the business. Minutes of previous meeting, January 13th, regular meeting and a public hearing on January 13th.
I'll make a motion to approve both.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Reports by elected officials and department heads. Town clerk, Mr. Lewis.
Okay, let's see, our office will be remitting $7,219.82 to the office. Rounded figures, $3,845 in recycling sales. That's the center and the office. $1,800 in rental fees. We had 12 new community center reservations. Let's see, $30 in dog licenses, 11 originals and 66 renewals, $1,045 in miscellaneous fees. That included vital statistics, $400 in dog impoundment, but that's a pass-through to Mohawk Hudson, $20 in fines for the dogs that got loose, and $15, our cut of $270 in sales for DEC. That's about it.
Entertain a motion for bills report.
I'll make one.
Can I have a second?
Yep, I will, Bill.
All in favor?
Aye.
Highway Department. Deputy Highway Superintendent, Mr. O'Donnell.
Geez, you came back off the beach?
Little vacation, that's okay.
Little vacation?
People take them, Gordy. Maybe you and me
Yeah,
don't.
we
but-
should get vacations.
I should take one.
How are they? Pretty good vacation?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The report for January. We plowed and sand roads 9 days, picked up Christmas trees 16 days, disposed of Christmas wrapping paper 1 day, hauled brush to the landfill 1 day, hauled cardboard 2 days, hauled leaves to the landfill 1 day, installed grates and spinners on plow trucks 1 day, flail mow the sides of the road 7 days, cut brush along the road 8 days, wash and wax trucks 4 days, and hauled sand 2 days.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Any sand left in the shed?
And what?
Do we have any sand left?
Sand and salt left?
Yeah, they restocked them, so.
We're all good?
Entertain motion for Ed's report.
I'll make a motion.
But,
Well, I'm
Bill, we
sorry.
got a motion and a second.
I'm sorry. I
All in
missed-
favor?
Aye.
Who did the second?
Gordy and
I made the motion.
Mark.
Thank you.
Either way. Pass, Terry.
The highway did a wonderful job. I mean, that ice storm, many of you been here a long time too, but I've never seen anything like that where you got so much ice in the beginning and then the snow on top. But thank God, no accidents, nobody got hurt. See the town of Scotticut. One thing these guys did do, maybe I admit, which impressed me after all these years, they put chains on the trucks before they went out. And that's the old farmer that does that type of stuff, you know. But the town of Scotticut, they had a truck that went off the road right on the straightaway because the ice and was tipped over on the side. So, of course, first I called him. I said, "Geez, you don't have any chains on that truck." But I don't think the guy, my co-partner, liked that up there. But did a great job. So I want to commend the highway department for that. Well done. All right, Bill Bradley, Water Department. I know you've been busy.
Good evening.
Did he set that to the ground?
Yeah. Nobody buried me yet. So,
You had any sleep at all?
yeah, it hasn't, it could be worse, I guess, you know. So I'll just thank her for her blessings at this point. The water and sewer report for December. Oh, I got the wrong date here. It's January for 2022. Completed all the water testing for the month. The Leon project is progressing, and anybody who's been down there, there's some significant landscape changes down there. There's been some disturbance to the residents because of the blasting. I'm sure Chuck will detail that out because he's been handling the majority of those complaints down there. I guess the good news is we're probably looking about 8 to 9 more days and that'll be done. So I do feel for the people that are down there. Quite frankly, it's a little bit more disturbance than I would have had expected it to be. But, I think the blasting firm is handling it very professionally. The site work at Lord Avenue, that's slowed down because of the frost and that in the ground as far as earth moving. The building is going up, and I'm sure Chuck will have another update to that one. We just continue to visually monitor that water table and the water down there, and we'll watch that because it seems like the pond continues to grow. And so some point in time, we've been fortunate, that the weather's been mild, but if there's a significant rain event, again, it'll kind of gauge how that's going to respond down there and how well it's going to work as designed. Sharp Road development, that's underway. And so we'll monitor that progress there also. And then we going to the water main side of things. We've had a number of breaks. Largest was the 16-inch water main cracked around over at the intersections of Route 2 and 278. I really want to reach out and thank Rich Elder and Jay Wilson. Rich Elder is with the Rensselaer County Health Department, and Jay Wilson is with the Rensselaer County Emergency Management. They met here on Sunday, called their contacts in the different fire departments and everything else in order to get us temporary hose that we can install and fittings and everything else that we needed to keep the school and businesses up through in the homes through the corridor of Route 2 going up through Cropseyville. And that worked out really, really well. And our guys put in a real effort, and our partners with Reifenberg on this one because of the potential of a much more complex repair, and that all went off very well. Knock on wood. Let's hope everyone goes out easily. That's what I got.
Yeah,
Did a good job on that. Lost a lot of water, didn't we?
Yes, we lost a lot of water, but
Yeah, I know.
it's
Half a million gallons a day?
Yep, for about 4 days. So the important thing is in this day and age, with everybody relying on being back to work and back to school and everything else, we were able to manage that. So we got lucky, I would say, on this one. So thank you.
I told all them young guys working for you, pay attention. Remember what all these pipes are. Yeah. Entertain a motion for Bill's report.
I'll make it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Golden, Superintendent of Utilities and Inspection.
Good evening, gentlemen. This is the first month report for the year of 2022. 93 building and property inspections were completed. We have 362 active building permits, with 11 permits issued the month of January. 20 meetings, 1 planning board meeting, 1 zoning board meeting, 0 court cases, 1 fire inspection, 5 follow-up to complaint inspections, 6 code callouts with their inspections, 9 code complaints, 7 code complaint inspections, 0 vacant properties identified, with 6 planning board projects approved and 3 zoning board projects approved. As Bill was stating earlier, the only one he didn't mention was Harbor Freight, and these ones seem to be really taking advantage of the slightly warmer weather to get up the black walls. So they are moving along quite well. For Hannaford, the wall will be for the, what would that would be? That would be the north section. That'll be poured on Tuesday. So they're able to keep the ground defrosted and able to continue on through the weather. And as we all know, the retaining wall should be going up soon, as soon as they get done with the geotech report in the back of the Planet Fitness area. So that will look quite different back there.
Now the blasting and the complaints.
Yes, please send the emails to me, cgolden@townofbrunswick.org. I've been compiling the information and being the interface between myself and the main drilling and blasting, where they will have someone go on out and take a look or just send out a claim form.
There's like a claim form. Right?
Yes, sir. Any of the complaints that I've been getting, they've been followed up from the main drilling and blasting with the claim forms.
Okay. Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
I'll do a motion to approve Chuck's report. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chaffee, Town Attorney.
Yeah, this past month I participated in the weekly meetings on the zoning law update and plan revisions to our regulations pertaining to 2-family and multifamily dwellings. I prepared all of the resolutions for tonight's meeting. I've continued working with the supervisor's office on selecting a new telephone system for the town office and reviewing and proposing edits of the necessary contractual documents. Been working on the request for proposals regarding our need to select a firm to provide engineering services to the planning board on an ongoing basis. I've been working with the supervisor's office on various personnel issues. And as always, I performed legal research, provided legal opinions, reviewed or prepared legal documents, all as requested by various town officials and employees.
Any questions for Tom?
Make a motion to accept. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Town Historian, Sharon?
Did you get January?
Thank you.
You want January?
You emailed that to me, didn't you? I'll take another copy.
Excuse me, we got some logistical problems here.
You weren't at the last board meeting because you had a birthday and you're out partying, they tell me. So,
Well, it was nice. I had my 50th birthday all over again,
oh,
and some
had a couple of them myself.
friends came I didn't know, with small group of people, some I hadn't seen, and we went down. They had a hotel room at the Hilton, and they had it set up and got food from 3 restaurants, one being the Plum Blossom. So that was nice. Nice and simple, but don't worry, if things continue on okay with the coronavirus and stuff like that, maybe I'll have a couple hundred people, this summer. I'm going to call it mid-75. Let's get a band and all that. Phil remembers when I turned 50, so that's why.
Remember when I turned 50.
It seems like it was just yesterday, right? And this is being streamed now. Everyone will know. I'll just go over my January report. I did listen to the live stream of the meeting when it was up, and I noticed my January report was not read or approved. So just to review a couple of things. I had little opportunity to serve the community during December and January, as it turns out, with the new variant of the coronavirus. And with the holidays, not too many people interested in getting involved in history projects, and a lot of the other agencies that do historical work were closed down or not working full time. I haven't heard from our county historian since June. So I know they continue to be closed at the Rensselaer County Historical Society, Hart Cluett Museum as it's now known. I do make some comments from time to time about the weather in my report for the sake of future generations. I had 3 oral history interviews scheduled, and one I did by telephone. 2 had to be delayed, one because a person was sick and the other one due to the ice storm last week, which fortunately was pretty bad, but didn't turn out with the amount of snow that we expected. I did mention earlier in December that we had a mystery of an 1800s Eagle Mills postal cancellation showing the images of feet on the stamps. I put that in the Historical Society's newsletter looking for some more information. I have not come up with anything, so I will have to write back to the collector of postal cancellations and tell him that I'm sorry, we just aren't able to clarify that mystery additionally for him. In December, I had one caller from New York City who was unable to reach the county historian at Hart Cluett and was looking for the identification of several towns in Rensselaer County by their current names, like Eagle Mills used to be called Millville. And so I was able to help him with that. And at this time, I really want to recognize Stacy Pomeroy Draper, who served as the curator at the Hart Cluett Museum, formerly the Rensselaer County Historical Society, for 43 years. She retired in December and was just a wonderful person to work with. Her door was always open to all the other local historical societies, as well as the town historians. And if you went to any exhibit or even a presentation or read anything that was published by the Rensselaer County Historical Society, the chances are very good that Stacy played a fairly big part in that. She was just a wonderful resource for so many of us, which reminds me, I've been here now 28 years, and a lot of the resources I had at the State Museum, State Archives, Troy Library, and a number of other organizations. I just don't have those resources anymore. All new names pretty much being put in my phone directory or my email list. We don't use phones anymore. So January didn't bring a whole lot more work across my desk. What I do every month is spend some time online reading whatever old newspapers I can, other historical records. There's more and more stuff showing up on the internet, free of charge, by the way. So that's about what I do. And I've been going through my files and all my notes from all the years. Some of it's so funny. I mean, the questions are totally changed now. The way we do business is totally, I had one written request for information in a letter with stamp on it in the last 4 or 5 years. Everything else is email, and you don't know where people are writing from. That's one of the big problems. You want to refer them to a resource or a site, and you're not sure how you should do that because you don't know where jack@yahoo.com is really located. And more I'm getting inquiries sometimes from people in other countries. I provided some information about the coronavirus numbers for future generations. And I was looking at the New York State Department of Health's dashboard this morning about the different statistics for each county. And I don't want to go into all these, but this one, it just blows your mind. 738,783 tests done in Rensselaer County as of February 8th. And that number, it's so close to 1 million. It's mind-boggling that this has happened. And the one we keep hearing on the news for the last week is that the total number of deaths in our country exceeds the total number of casualties from any wars that we have fought. And I think, we've heard so much about this virus. It comes at us from so many ways since it started almost 2 years ago. March 20th was the day they first started recording data, that I think people have hardened to it. It's like, oh, what next? But it really is a significant part of our history, and I hope it's one that will end soon, although I don't know. Just some information about some things that are upcoming that may interest people. The Erie Canal Museum in Syracuse invites the public, to enjoy an online presentation featuring the life and times of Garnett Douglas Baltimore, who, of course, we have recognized as the designer of our Forest Park Cemetery. That will be online February 17th at noon, and it's a lunchtime presentation. It may be available maybe on YouTube or something at a future time. I'm not sure. That hasn't been announced, but pre-registration is required via the Canal Museum's website. And they do ask for a donation, but you don't have to give one. There's a drop-down box, and you can choose not to give a donation. New York State Archives has issued a reminder that the deadline for local government record management improvement fund grants is March 21st. Bill is our records management officer officially. Are we going for a grant this year of any kind, or?
I
No?
have not.
If you need help, let me know.
I will.
But also, the reason I bring it up is if they're ready, fire companies, school districts, other municipal organizations sometimes qualify for that kind of grant money. The Rensselaer Land Trust is going to be sponsoring the 14th annual shoreline cleanup of the Tom Hannock Reservoir on Saturday, March 30th at 9 o'clock, and has issued a call for volunteer assistance. You can sign up via their website, or you can call me. And I have to mention, whenever we talk about that Bill Bradley and he was with the city of Troy, I was on the board of the Land Trust. We set up the first one, and it went really well. And it's one activity that has survived, 14th annual cleanup. So if you have a couple hours, go out and help. All you have to do is wear your comfortable shoes and some pants that you don't mind getting dirty, and maybe a pair of work gloves. And they have bags, and they're responsible for taking care of the trash. That year we had a mountain of trash. It was like, I don't know, 2 stories, was it? It was pretty big. We found sofas and dog houses and everything around the shores of the reservoir. So big source of water for a whole lot of municipalities other than Brunswick. The New York Natural Heritage Program and the State University College of Environmental Science and Forestry at Syracuse has partnered with a not-for-profit. It may be a new organization. It's one I hadn't heard of. It's the New York Invasive IMAP, New York IMAP Invasives is the name of the organization, and they have a website, newyorkimapinvasives.org, and they have developed an app which you can download to your phone and report invasive species. They're going to be giving training. That's also February 17th, but that's at night, 7 p.m. And you can register for that at the New York imapinvasivespecies.org website. If you're interested, just let me know and I'll give you the thing. Or you can have a copy of my report. But I think this is interesting because this is a resource that will ultimately be helpful to things like our zoning and planning boards and other community planning efforts. So worth noting that it's in the works. And I will close by mentioning a little historic fact that I haven't mentioned for many years, at least not before all the board members here. February is Black History Month, and it's appropriate to mention that New York was the first state to enact legislation in 1817 for the total abolition of legal slavery, when the state legislature passed a constitutional amendment setting July 2nd, 1827 as the final date of emancipation. And prior to that, they set it in 1817 for 1827. Note that before that, in 1799, there was an act which was called the Gradual Abolition Law, which declared that children born after July 4th, 1799 to enslaved mothers would be free after they provided free services to their mother's master if a female until they reached age 25 or 28 if a male. And regardless of all this legislation, though, black men, freed black men, did not get the right to vote until 1870 with the enactment of the 15th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, unless they were property, unless they owned property, even though white men could vote as of 1821. If they, when our town was formed, people had to own property to be able to vote. So that left for white men in 1821. I also want to mention there is a reference I did find in one of our meeting minutes of the 1820s, which are in Bill's office. There was one instance where two black men had to come before the town board and be questioned to see if they met the requirements to live here as free black men. I don't know exactly what they were asked. The record doesn't show that, but probably they had to give some sort of proof of age that they were 28 years old or older. So that is really about the only reference that I have ever found in our town records as far as Black history goes in Brunswick, that and the fact that we have Garnett Douglas Baltimore as the architect of our Forest Park Cemetery. So, thank you.
Thanks, Sharon. Let me get a motion to approve Sharon's report. Oh, let's make it the January and February reports.
And we have lots of copies.
I'll make it.
And I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Tom, recycling coordinator.
Good evening. Recycling report for January. Blue bags purchased at the center. We had 367 at $3 for $1,100. Blue bags purchased from vendors. We had 600 for $1,530. Purple bags purchased at the center, 126 at $2 for $252. Mixed newspapers and chipboards, single stream plastic, tin and glass, 10.49 tons at $35 a ton for $367. Bale corrugated, 4.99 tons at $121 a ton for $606. Our miscellaneous large and small appliances, we had 3. We had 6 TVs, 6 tires, 2 ACs for $160, and that gave us revenues of $4,015. The general expenses, our refuse landfill was 15.86 tons. That's $70 a ton for $1,506. Our commingled plastics, 0.74 tons at $1.17 a pound for $1,723. And that gave us expenses of $3,230. The total amount recycled and landfilled for the month of January was 32.08 tons. It's a little bit down due to the weather.
Awful cold.
Yes, it was.
Thanks, Tom.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve Tom's report. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Brunswick Community Library.
Yes.
Sarah, didn't see you back there.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
For January, we answered 275 reference questions. We had 1,620 visitors. Our Wi-Fi was used 159 times. Our technology was used, computers, printers, faxes, etc., 115 times. Our study areas were used 217 times. We checked out 5,695 items, including books, movies, magazines, and our programs were attended 306 times. We are planning on having a Valentine's Day book sale on Valentine's Day, and he was booked on St. Patrick's Day, But the day after St. Patrick's Day, which is a Friday, we are having Jeff Snow, who is a Celtic musician and storyteller, come to do a performance at the library. And I know we have a lot of Irish heritage in Brunswick, so I really hope people will come and enjoy that. And we do a lot of like little raffle baskets for our patrons throughout the year, and they'll have to answer a question to enter. Our Valentine's Day basket question was, what do you love about the town of Brunswick? And we got some really lovely answers that I just wanted to end the evening with. We had a lot of people say that they love the farms, they love the small town feel. The number one answer was that people loved the sense of community here. They love the beautiful views. They love the beach. They love the swimming lessons. And I will humble brag and say that some of them said that they loved the library. But I just wanted to share some of those comments with you because it was very heartwarming to see the things that people said that they loved about their community.
Nice, very, very nice. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night and happy Valentine's Day.
Thanks, Sarah. Entertain a motion for Sarah's report.
I'll make it.
I'll second it.
That's our
Mark.
pal story.
Sip.
Oh, sip. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. That's reports by elected officials, department head. Bill, we got any resolutions?
Oh, yeah. Had a couple wordy ones here, but so we'll do my best. First one, new zoning board member coming in. Resolution number 24 for 2022. Resolution appointing member to zoning board of appeals.
We had a person move south from the zoning board, and his term expired 12/31/2022. So Mr. Lockrow, Daryl's here. Just step up or stand up or wave.
Wave
Thank
to
you.
the crowd.
Thank you.
Hey, Daryl.
Put you on the spot. Daryl's a 50-year resident of the town of Brunswick, and he's been asking me for, I'm going to say 5, 6 years, 10 years. I want to get involved. I want to try to get on a board. I want to help Brunswick because I have so much invested here. The Lockrows, Daryl comes from a family of 9 kids. He's the father of 6 daughters. You don't watch TV too much, do you? The Lockrows are a very, very, very big part of the town of Brunswick. Daryl has coached sports in Brunswick. I got to know him pretty well because he's a former president of Brunswick Girls Softball League. He volunteered in the community with foster care and literacy Volunteers of America. And I'd be honored to offer Daryl Lockrow for the opening of the zoning board.
I'll second it.
Okay, so the foregoing resolution was, excuse me, offered by Supervisor Harrington, seconded by Councilman Balistrary. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly,
Aye.
Councilman Christian,
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan,
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary,
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
Resolution is adopted.
The other thing
Resolution,
impresses me, how big that lawn you got over there? A 5-acre lawn. So.
okay.
All right.
Yep, resolution number 25 of 2022. Resolution approving certified list of volunteer firefighters of the Brunswick Fire Company Number 1 Incorporated who have earned at least 50 points during the calendar year of 2020 under the Length of Service Award Program sponsored by the town of Brunswick for the said fire company, thereby qualifying them for a year of service credit and directing that the said certified list be returned to the fire company for posting for a minimum period of 30 days.
I'll offer.
Mr. Supervisor, I'm going to recuse myself from this one as a board
Okay.
member on that.
Yep.
Since you're awful involved, or very involved with, not awful, very busy with a fire company, can you tell us what this?
Sure.
resolution
For
is
those
all about?
that may or may not be aware, volunteer recruitment and retention for volunteer fire departments is very difficult. We have 5 volunteer departments in the town. So quite a few years ago, the town started a LoSAP program, which allows a benefit, annual benefit of, at the time, I think it was $750,
Yeah.
one payment annually into a fund that those members that met a certain amount of points at each department, in other words, drills, training, meetings, calls, all the things, and they had to reach, I believe it was 50 points during the year in order to qualify for that $750 annually. they put it in a fund, and then when they become vested after 5 years, and then at the age of 62, it's a lump sum payment to them. So it's a small benefit back to our volunteers to try and have some incentive to increase those ranks. That's pretty much, unless anybody has any questions. But for this resolution, I'm on the board of directors of Brunswick One, so I'm going to recuse myself
Okay.
from this.
All right, it's been offered by Councilman Christian. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
So resolution offered by Councilman Christian, seconded by Councilman Sipperly. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly.
Aye.
Councilman Christian.
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary recused. Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
Okay, resolution is adopted. On the same lines, Resolution 26, 2022. Resolution approving certified list of volunteer firefighters of the Volunteer Fire Company of Center Brunswick Incorporated, who have earned at least 50 points during the calendar year 2020 under the Length of Service Award Program sponsored by the town of Brunswick for the said fire company, thereby qualifying them for a year of service credit and directing that the said certified list be returned to the fire company for posting for a minimum period of 30 days.
I'll offer that one.
I'll second it.
I'm sorry, who offered it? I got the second.
Supervisor.
Supervisor.
Okay, thank you. Resolution was offered by Supervisor Harrington, seconded by Councilman Balistrary. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly.
Aye.
Councilman Christian.
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary.
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
The resolution is adopted. And one more. Resolution 27, 2022, excuse me. Resolution approving certified list of volunteer firefighters to the Volunteer Fire Company of Mountain View Fire Company Incorporated, who have earned at least 50 points during the calendar year of 2020 under the Length of Service Award Program sponsored by the town of Brunswick for the said fire company, thereby qualifying them for a year of service credit and directing that said certified list be returned to the fire company for posting for a minimum period of 30 days.
I'll offer it.
I'll second it.
Foregoing resolution offered by Councilman Sullivan, seconded by Councilman Christian. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly.
Aye.
Councilman Christian.
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary.
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 28, 2022. Resolution accepting quote and approving and authorizing execution of quote and basic services agreement for lease of telephone hardware, equipment, and cloud-based hosted PBX telephone service at Brunswick Town Office.
Tom, you don't need to get in great detail here, but you've been working on this for a long time.
Yes.
Our phones can't be replaced, they're quite old. So this is a update the phone system, right?
Correct, and both the equipment, telephone handsets and related equipment and the service.
All right.
I'll offer it.
I'll second it.
Foregoing resolution offered by Councilman Sullivan, seconded by Councilman Christian. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly.
Aye.
Councilman Christian.
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary.
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
Resolution is adopted. And last, Resolution 29. Resolution increasing water rates.
City of Troy has raised the rates for people that have water, and this is adjusting to it. So,
I'll offer it.
I'll second it.
Foregoing resolution offered by Councilman Sullivan, seconded by Councilman Christian. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly.
Aye.
Councilman Christian.
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary.
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
Resolution is adopted. That's it.
All right. Just do that later, right? Do that now. Mark, were you gonna do this local law or?
Yes. So I'd like to introduce local law number 1 of 2022. It's a law extending the moratorium on the filing, acceptance, review, or determination of any land use application pertaining to two-family dwellings and multifamily dwellings in the town of Brunswick.
Before we get to
Set a public hearing.
public hearing for this and do it before the next board meeting?
We can.
What time?
6:30.
6:45, 6:30, whatever you want to do.
I think either works.
6:45?
6:45.
What's the date on that?
We haven't had any
March 10th.
What's March,
attendance
March 10th?
of this the last times.
This moratorium, without getting myself in legal problems like I always seem to do. We been working on this. So we had a moratorium. Been meeting every Wednesday with a couple attorneys, our consultant, our building department, who's a big part of this, and I have been involved. And we still got some work to do, correct, Tom?
Yes.
So this is to extend another 6 months, so I'm hoping we won't need the 6 months. I'm hoping we get it done before that, but legally, we just want to make sure we got enough time we're doing this right. It takes, make sure everything is legal, step by step by step. And I pick on our attorneys who've been with me since day one, Tom and Andy's been there. But, all these legal questions, for, the building a structure, the structure of building. But these guys have kept us out of a lot of legal problems over the years. But this is kind of a slow process going through it. But so this is just to extend a moratorium on the multi.
That's correct.
Right.
And again, you're correct that it's anticipated that we're going to get finished with this before. It's just so we have a cushion in case anything goes wrong.
And, our town board hasn't seen any what's going on. I know Jim's going to be asking later or whenever. So we got to get it together. And then we got to have a public hearing and present it to the board. These board members got to take a look at it too. And so it's a step. And then the public will be involved with a public hearing also.
Right. It's anticipated that there'll be some other type of meeting, a workshop or a special meeting of some nature where it's rolled out to the board. And of course, that's all open to the public, at least to be present. And then there will be the formal public hearing when anyone can comment, say anything they want about it.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay, so we agreed on that?
what else we got?
We're agreed for that on March 10th, 6:45 before the regular meeting?
Yes.
Everyone good?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I got stuff to do right away.
All right.
So
Okay.
I'm still good on stuff.
Okay.
You got any correspondence over there?
I do not, no.
Any old business? Kathy Betzinger, who many of you know, has contacted me twice, asked me what's going on. As you know, we've applied for a grant to take a look at the traffic situation on Route 7. I mean, the town of Brunswick we're looking to partner with the Capital District Transportation Committee in New York State Department of Transportation to develop a plan through CDTC Community and Transportation Linkage Planning Program, which provides integrated land use and transportation planning assistance to the capital region communities. So in November of 2021, the town of Brunswick submitted a proposal to obtain available federal transportation planning funds to undertake a study of Route 7 commercial corridor. She left. That's too bad. That's one of her main concerns. Anyway, we can bring Christine, up to speed. But now the study, if we get accepted, the study will make recommendations for improvements with a plan of implementation. Brunswick residents will be encouraged to participate in the process to provide input through public meetings. CDTC is currently evaluating and prioritizing on a proposed project. And what I want to emphasize here is we're expecting to be notified of the status of this at March 1st to see if we got accepted, which we got high hopes. So that's what's going on with our grant proposal for the study of the situation on Route 7. So what else we got? We got one other thing here for the board. I'd like to propose a special meeting. As many of you remember, CVE North America is proposing a commercial solar project off of Bel Air Lane. Most of the proposed commercial solar project site is located in the Ag Overlay Zoning District, about 2/3 of the proposed project. CVE North America filed a petition to amend the zoning map to place the rest of the project site in the Ag Overlay District. This would include a limited area for solar panels as well as part of proposed access road. The town board completed the reference process to Rensselaer County, the referral project to Rensselaer County and the town planning board on the proposed changes to the zoning map. The town board, we held and completed our public hearing on a proposed zoning map amendment on January 13th, 2022. The town board seeker council and review engineers need some additional time to complete and review the application material. And they tell me they're going to have a review completed by February 17th. Now, CVE North America is proposing a continuous project review at the Brunswick Planning Board meeting, which is going to be held on February 17th. Therefore, what I'd like to do is have the town board consider holding a special meeting on February 17th before the planning board meeting at 6 o'clock to deliberate on a seeker review and a proposed zoning map amendment on a CVE North America commercial solar project. These people are coming in from Rochester to meet with the planning board, and they got to get our feelings on the seeker. So I don't know if we had a quorum that would be available next Thursday or on the 17th.
I will be out of town, so I will not.
You won't be.
I'm good.
I should be good.
All right, so we should be good. So can we schedule that meeting, Bill?
Okay,
February 17th at 6 o'clock?
17th at 6 o'clock prior to the planning board meeting. Yep. We'll send a notice out to the newspapers and post it on the website and board.
Excellent correction, Phil. I will.
And remind all you guys. Yeah,
Okay, good.
17th at 6 o'clock?
Yep.
got it.
Board have any other new business? I really want to, and it will happen, to get working on our trail system. Mr. Sipperly has stepped up, so I know it's going to get done now. And handle our proposed walking trails behind the community center that goes up on the land and over on the former Bone Steel Farm that Mr. Marini donated back to the town for Forever Green. Mr. Bradley, you've been making a larger parking area over there. And we've got all the markers and stuff, so we're gonna get into that pretty heavy this summer, so probably be looking for volunteers too, so. What else we missing? Anything? Anybody else have any new business? Warrants?
Make a motion, we approve our bills. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Further comments from visitors? Anybody have any other comments?
Good evening. Jim Tashik, 387 Brunswick Road. Just asking for the town to help the citizens get informed a little bit better. Right.
On,
The last minutes available on the website were from October. Okay, so we missed.
town board minutes?
Town board minutes. October, so there's November, December, January, and then also there was the cannabis public hearing, and also the budget public hearing, which there were significant comments made. You know, for example, then from November, there was the discussion about the PFOAs in water. So there are things, you know, that people aren't even aware of that have happened here, okay? So that's, you know, I'm here all the time. I'm always complaining about this, but nothing ever gets done.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
sure why. I guess I should be sure why.
Some of it's been just neglecting to put it on. Some of it has been that I didn't get them finished. January's done. I don't think it's posted. December, I'm not sure what happened with that, but November should be there.
No,
I don't know why it wouldn't be.
no. And also, I went back through the year. June is missing also.
June.
So in the last year, 4 have been missing.
Okay.
So that's 1/3. So you get a 66.7% grade, which is,
Failing.
if I were a teacher, I might give you a D.
Failing.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty.
I will.
And then the other thing is just we got to make a better attempt to disseminate information through the website. The website's a real dog's breakfast. You know, it's just all cobbed up. You know, for example, has anybody ever looked at the website? For example, the documents and forms. Have you ever looked at that?
Yes.
Did you find it useful, Jim? Have you ever seen it?
I nodded my head, yes, I've looked at it. In fact, I looked at it probably a week or two ago.
Okay, in the documents, I had to look at it. In the top things in the documents, it was the brush pickup schedule, snow emergency date, these are all undated, town hall closure, water interruption, a republishing of a recycling guide, you know, nothing specific for our recycling center, just a general thing for the environment. Car care flyer. Gordy, you might like that, but it's just a reprint of something, a public service thing. And then something about mowing your grass. You know, also just nothing to do with the town. And then one of the other ones, one of these is just another republication of a printed material reminding you to pick up after your dog. This is all under the documents.
I take offense to it. It's not town business. It is, the way the website works, that I can to link to, let's say, the stormwater page, if I'm to link to a document, I have to put that document up there. So that they were all part of the stormwater management side that you're referencing. So
Okay.
I take a little offense to that, but
All right.
yes, the website needs it.
But it's hardly a document.
Well,
Well, then maybe
If you want some good information, you can go to the building department tab.
Okay. Then also it's impossible to find things on there. I think this gentleman was here last time asking about Brunswick Acres. Is it you?
Brunswick Road Development Project.
On Brunswick Road, I think it's Brunswick Acres.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah, that's the name of it.
And
Maybe it won't happen.
okay. Well, the thing is, we should have a website where you can go on there, do some kind of search to find out what's the status of this project, right? What you have to do now, you have to go back through all the planning board meetings.
So what do we need to do? Redo
You
our
need
whole
to-
website?
Yes, you need a new website for one thing, but the thing is, you have to pay more attention to the information that's through the minutes, for example. The website is like a wish list. I don't know who reviewed this website when it went out for contract. I mean, for efficiency, not for legal technicalities or something like that. But we need a new website because this is it's pitiful. It really is. Now,
It's like they're posted, they appear in the order in which they might have been posted.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
but most of these things aren't even dated. On there, they're not dated.
Well, you can click on about, go for this 10 minutes separately, you know.
The website needs improvement.
But yeah,
No.
no, I agree. It's
Okay, and I have a question about with the water main breaks. The water main break, when you lose water, does the town have to pay for that?
Yeah.
Okay, who pays for it?
You do.
Now, is it everybody in the town or is it the water districts?
Everybody that receives water in the town.
So it's paid for by the water districts? or out of the general fund?
Yes, the water district users pay for that lost water.
Yeah, everybody that has water.
Everybody that has water. Okay,
Now, what we do, we have a main, when it comes through that main meter, we pay for it. So I've jumped up and down a lot, and I don't have to anymore. Bill's doing an excellent job. He looks at that how many times a day? He monitors the water. We built a cushion in there for water loss.
Mhm.
So we've been lucky. And when we took over years ago, they were losing a tremendous amount of water, tremendous. But we've got to build up there some funds. So that's what happened. All of a sudden, our usage, the water that was coming to town just shot way up. So Bill started searching, but that's why we're so darn concerned. So now, one thing I did do, I say the town board, but somehow we got it done. When we did the contract with the city of Troy, before, when we flushed their hydrants, if we don't flush the hydrants, they get built up in there with rust or whatever, right? Or whatever. So we have to flush them to keep them nice and clean. Well, when we did that, you were paying for all that water that we're blowing out in the ground. So we were able to get the city of Troy to give us 8 million. Is that the number? 8 million gallons a year to flush our system. So now on the air and everything else here, but maybe we can tell Troy we did a little flushing, you know. So, but we're watching that.
so if you're not on the water system, you're not paying for that loss.
If you got wells, you're not paying for it. Correct.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Gee, now that Jim just announced that we don't keep people notified, that reminded me of something. And it will be on the website tomorrow, I'll guarantee you. The county got a hold of us today, and they gave us some COVID test kits to be handed out to the public. Bill, 500 plus, I think.
I don't know what the quantity was, but the deal is going to be 2 per person, and it requires identification that you are a town of Brunswick resident there for the town. We have them here at the office, so they can be picked
We
up.
picked them up today, and we'll get that on the website, but you can come for a couple free test kits. So
Stop in during the day, and 2 per person.
I'll guarantee you that'll be on
And
the
there's 2
website.
tests in each box also, so 4 tests.
So they are being distributed
Yeah.
in your regular mail from the federal.
Yeah, the federal ones are starting to show up.
Federal, but the county
Yeah.
got more, right?
It's funny, because I actually had a phone call about that, I think, yesterday, and then they showed up today. I had no idea they were coming.
Anybody else at this point? Town board? If not, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can you get my employment ad off of Facebook and run it on the ad in the newspaper? Would you do that? Just film it. However that happens. Yeah, well, I would, but the problem is there's too many people there. Yeah, go ahead and run it.
Oh, that's right.
Sue
Yeah.
probably posted on Facebook, probably on Saturday.
I'm mucked up on,
So.
I could talk to you about it tomorrow, I guess. I'm mucked up that Mountain View resolution.
Yeah, my Facebook, not the private person.
You got it? I'll show you if you want to take a minute.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
It's the Mountain
You'll
View.
want to see the last one. It's probably gonna be- is that Mountain View?
It was
Probably.
the last one we did, I think.
That's the Mountain View? Yep. It's this one.
No, this is Center Brunswick.
Oh, what?
Let me keep
Oh,
going.
okay, sorry.
Here it is.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So, the Mountain View Volunteer Fire Company.
Okay.
I was using before.
Okay. No problem. Yeah,
So just
I can fix
it.
that. Yeah,
Just fix it.
I'll fix it before I print it. Yep, sure. Okay. Mhm. And actually, special meetings, I don't believe we don't have to post it in the paper. Special meeting doesn't have to be published, but we inform you. So you're informed. So you're informed.
Lebanon does the same thing.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is let me know and I'll get it up on our website on Facebook.
Oh, so
Well, ahead of time.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll get it up, like, send it tomorrow.
do you have the notice?
Not with me.
Okay,
Yeah,
we could.
yeah.
we could
I'll
give it
send
to
that to you tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
send it to me tomorrow and we'll get it up on Facebook. and
Okay, all right.
that for you.
It's all done, it's all ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. There are some towns that do them, some that just notify us.
Oh,
New Lebanon and Petersburg and Brunswick notify us. Town of Hoosick won't have a special meeting unless it can be published.
oh, really?
Oh, wow. Legally, we don't have to.
I guess it's all the interpretation of the town attorney.
The open meetings law doesn't require it. so-
Yeah, I know, but, well, part of it over there in Mark Survey was very, very big about making sure the public knows everything legally. and-
Now, you just want that email, right?
Didn't know
Yeah,
that.
just
Give me that email again, just in case.
news
Yep.
at Eastwood Press.
I just don't know if I put that where I'm gonna find it quick. Okay.
And I'll get it posted up tomorrow.
Yeah, he already drafted it. I just don't have it here. It's in my computer. Sounds good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Yes, I did. Oh, that's odd.